Good morning, live weather blog meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with today's tropical update for August 2nd, 2010. Going to focus on our Invest 91L out here in the central Atlantic. Definitely could become our next tropical depression. I thought we'd definitely see this named overnight last night, but has not come to pass. National Hurricane Center is still waiting on see if they could see a definite closed circulation center here. Boy, I missed those quick scat days. By now we would have definitely had a read on this, but we haven't had a WindSat or a good ASCAT pass yet this morning. They're probably going to wait on that just to see if we definitely have a closed circulation center. Looking at the first visible satellite loop here this morning, structurally it's looking good. A little less organized than last night. Definitely getting into that drier air, some easterly shear on this system. Structurally looking good though still, and we could see a closed circulation possibly developing right in this area here. So just waiting on that confirmation here. Going to go over to the color loop here, and you could see little thunderstorms kind of waning, getting into that drier air a little bit. So not structurally, at least convection wise, not as good as it was last night. So we'll have to wait and see if the National Hurricane Center wants to really upgrade this to a tropical depression. I think they still will, but we'll have to wait and see on that today. Looking at the bigger view here, now this is the water vapor loop, and this will show you a lot what's going to be going on out ahead of this system. You can see yesterday we had a bigger dome of moist air around it. That has kind of lessened a little bit as it's starting to get into this drier, more stable air here. And I was showing you that the last couple days, was even talking about that last week, that this could have a little bit of a hindrance this week on anything that wants to develop out here. So have to watch and see what happens. The system has really lost a lot of its convection, and it could be affected more by this drier air. And then out here we have that trough off the east coast here. That could help to deflect this system north of the islands and then make it hook out to sea later this week into next weekend. Again, long way off on that right now. We still have this Tut feature right in here, bringing a lot of wind shear here. And if this system does stay weak, it could just continue moving more on a west motion here, right through the islands and into the Caribbean Sea. Very possible too. So a lot of ifs right now, and also a lot of obstacles out ahead of this system right now. So where I thought maybe yesterday we could see a hurricane out of this system before it reaches the islands, not too sure about that today, but we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Let's close in on this system a little bit here, and we'll look at the close-up here. So you see it looks like there's an upper high over it, but I believe the system's more over here, and this upper high might have shifted a little north, and we're getting a little more easterly shear on this system. And then if we put the dry air, the SAL layer over this, you can see it's pretty much surrounded by that drier air right now, and it could be starting to suck in some of this drier air to its west. So again, we'll have to see. These little smaller systems could be affected by dry air a little more, and this could really thwart its development the next couple days. Let's move on here, and then off the coast of Africa, before I get into the models with Invest 91L, I just want to show you the system to its east here, and looking pretty impressive right now. Another wave moved off the African coast here, and this could be our next invest in the next couple days. And look how close it is to our system that's trying to develop. So that could be a little interesting interaction here the next couple days. We'll have to watch that and see. All right, let's move on to the models quickly here. These are the latest 6Z models. 12Z models should be coming out any minute. And you can see it still takes this system off to the north. But again, that's saying that the system's going to develop. If it stays weaker, you can almost bring these model tracks down to the west a little more, to the south. So maybe more in line like this if it does stay weak. But anyway, this is the latest model run showing you that trough, that weakness in the subtropical high that's going to lift it northwest. Intensity models, again, these have been really, talk about inaccurate this season so far. Just really haven't been on the ball. But anyway, I kind of look in this kind of environment, you want to look at still LGEM. That's kind of my favorite intensity model right now, and that's this blue line here. And you can see keeps it basically a tropical storm throughout its motion towards the islands, and that could very well happen here with that dry air environment out ahead of it. Okay, some of the global models. Here we go. Canadian model brought the track a little farther south. This one could be more accurate than any track right now. You can see it passing pretty close to the islands and coming up this way. Really should take a good look at this model, and this track seems the more accurate out of all the global models right now. So there it goes. That's the Canadian model. GFDL model, keeping the system pretty weak. And again, takes it up towards the northwest, takes it north of the islands, keeps it pretty weak, but I don't know, if it stays weak, to me it's going to move more farther west and it would be closer to the islands like this. HWRF model, again, keeping the system pretty weak and barely develops it at all. And then here we are, the Euro model. What's the Euro model showing you? Well, the Euro model is showing us nothing right now. Still interesting that it's not showing us anything, and it could be onto something. What do we know? Again, when the systems are just developing, these models could be all over the place, but Euro, really nothing, not developing the system at all anymore. So that'll be interesting to see if that actually happens or not. But the Euro is usually pretty accurate, so definitely have to take that into account. And then the GFS model, here we are, and this is the system, and we'll put this back into motion here in a second. I'll show you the starting point here. You can see this isn't our system here. Here it goes, right here. Put this into motion, and you can see keeping the system fairly weak again. Yesterday it actually closed it off. Today it's not really closing it off right away. Brings it north of the islands here, then finally starts closing off the low pressure as it gets off the east coast here. And then it catches that weakness and brings it up along the east coast here and out to sea. So another model, you can see developing another system right behind it. That could be that system to the east of it. But again, GFS not too excited about this system right now either. And now let's look at the MJO real quick here. And you can see we're getting back into that, that neutral position here of the MJO right here. And you can see pretty much neutral conditions now, a little downward motion over the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico right now. These brown figures are downward motion, green is upward motion, but we're neutral now, and it looks like we're going to be heading into more of an upward motion starting next week. So this is the transition where things could really start heating up, and again, I really believe things are going to start getting very active by next week. That's been my plan the last few weeks. So we'll continue to watch our invest today. Definitely could see it become a tropical depression today. We're just going to wait on confirmation to see if we have a closed center of circulation. Don't focus too much on the models right now. This thing could go either way. If it stays weak farther west, this thing could run right into the Caribbean Sea. If it does decide to strengthen, it could take that farther north course like all the models are showing. Long way off for any impacts across the United States. We really don't know right now. But just watch how that dry air affects it today, and we'll see what we have in the next few days. That'll be it for now. I may have another update later this evening if time permits. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Bye-bye.